Okay, so welcome back to Honest Tool Reviews, and today I guess we have my puppy here as a guest. Can Daddy do the video? He needs to talk to people, okay? Okay. So if you're watching this video, then I'm sure you're getting pulled into the hoopla about how the cell phones weren't working. If you've been pulled into the hoopla about how the cell phones weren't working, and you've probably heard about the footage of the girl who could not figure out where she was going because her phone stopped working. Now, here's the thing. It's not that her phone stopped working. She didn't get lost because she couldn't use Apple Maps. She got lost because she didn't have the map downloaded. She couldn't get data because the phone itself wasn't working. I'm hearing satellites weren't working, but I'm not hearing everyone everywhere say their TVs and satellite radios and all that wasn't working. The only thing that wasn't working that's being mass reported is the phones. So I'd like to take just a couple of minutes and express what you should do so that your phone will work offline for maps. And a lot of you already know this information, some of you may not. And I'd like to go into some further details about things like not trusting big corporations and big companies. And I feel the need to justify that. So I'm going to attempt to show you that I know what I'm talking about, or that I have experience with that, because this is a tool channel that I have showed lightsabers on. I've showed some tools. I've given my opinion on politics. But what exactly do I know about electronics? So, go figure. This is my gaming station where I play video games. That is a TV that's actively being used as a monitor, second monitor. That is my Windows laptop. That is my Google Chrome notebook, or Chromebook, if you will, which basically runs an Android operating system based on the search engine. It's nothing more than, Google information. And this is a Linux computer. For those of you who have no clue what Linux is, it's around you every waking day. Basically, any computer terminal, ATM you go to, every register you go to, every supply store or company chain that has a machine operating something has programs written in Linux. Linux is a base, which is the absolute smallest starting point for operating systems that include all of Android phones. So even though it's Android OS, Android is a base product of Linux. And from there, I am running one on this computer. I have, this is Windows 11. I am running Google Chrome's little search book crap. And as far as phones go, one right here, and one right here. This video is being filmed on one. And most importantly, for the context of this particular video, I have a flip phone, which actively has service and actively receives text messages, including one from Friday. It's AT&T. We apologize for Thursday's outage, which may have impacted you as a valued customer. Your connection matters and you're committed, blah, 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 blah. This phone can do maps, calculator, internet, YouTube, just like the other two. So, try to understand. I deal with these things a lot. It's okay, buddy. It's alright. Nobody's out there. Matter of fact, I write the puppy Linux operating systems on thumb drives. and I sell them. You know, $20 here. You're paying for the thumb drive, not the operating system. You're paying me for my time and energy and the thumb drive, not the operating system. I make these operating systems for people, and I try to sell them as custom, as in it's on the thumb drive. This computer has no operating system if I unplug the USB. So I make these and I try to help people. You know, if their computers are running slow, they can use these instead for a quicker experience and still keep their operating system separately. So I know what I'm saying when I say a couple of things. I've had people before question a video or two, and I just want to get that out there that I am technologically inclined. I'm technologically inclined enough that I have been trained in programming and coding, ladder logic, and a couple of other base skills. See, turning this computer back on turns the TV to where it's searching for a signal. This is a very slow laptop, but that is why I prefer my puppy Linux. I have it stripped, I have full control over it, whereas Windows will always control Windows. So anyway, that's not what the video is about. So if you want to be able to use your cell phone to find your way around with or without data, just a friendly little wallpaper. So you're going to go to your map, okay? And on your map that you have with all of the stuff in it, you can go to different layers like satellite, which I prefer and I suggest. Satellite lets you actually see what everything looks like as if it was a map. That's an open field. These are places, actual lakes and streets and things. So what you can do to be able to do all of this offline, let's take a quick look here under my profile, offline maps. From offline maps, you can select your own map. Okay, so now I can resize as much as I want. That square is where the map's going to be. So I can incorporate the vast majority of everywhere I travel in North Carolina and hit the download button. And that map is downloading. Of course, I have bad internet and it's going to download slowly. But what happens when this map downloads is I will have the entire map of everywhere. Streets, addresses, stores, all saved from inside that square on my phone. The reason that's good is because I can type in I'm looking for Lowe's Home Improvement, and I will have Lowe's Home Improvement show up on the map, and it will take me there with the satellite, the global positioning systems, without needing data, because it already knows where it needs to go. Then it just has to ask for permission to go there from the satellite. So with that in mind, this phone, which has no service, will work much better than it would if it was supposed to have service and doesn't. Another option is you can go to a gas station, almost any gas station, but a lot of the big chain gas stations will typically have like a map for the state. Or you can find a travel center, or you can get on the highway and drive till you find a rest stop. And they'll have maps, things you can do. Maps are easy to read if you know how to read a map. I'm not going to do that in this video because that warrants its own video, and I don't have a paper copy to show you. But anywhere you're going, when you stop at a gas station, if it's not like a Hispanic ran or foreign guy owned gas station, like Jihad gas station or whatever, if it's like an actual big chain place like Sheetz or Circle K or something like that, they most likely have the a spot where you can find maps of that state that you're in. You gotta go pee pee? Come on. Let me let the dog out. Come on. Go pee pee. Go pee pee. You won't be out long. Don't do that. Oh, okay. So, first off, you can do that. You can get paper maps to find where you're at. And I highly suggest learning how to read a map. There's probably 1,000 YouTube videos already set up about that. But you can get your hands on the paper maps. 2, you can download the maps to your phone. And if you have a flip phone nowadays, you're not screwed. You probably have a good awareness of where you're at all the time anyway. But if you are somewhere new and everything's going to crap around you, you're trying to find a place that you've never been, like a repair shop or an automotive shop, because your vehicle is breaking down and you're like, I just don't know where one is from here. I'll show you how to do that real quick, because the point of this video is to be helpful, not to be critical of anyone. Now I hope this shows up the way it's supposed to, but right here in the small of the phone screen, that is actually Google Map icon. So we're going to press the left button to go to the little wheel over here. You see it does YouTube, it does maps, so go to maps, hit OK. You see if this would work any better if I changed the lighting in here. Kind of. Okay. Now it is using my Wi-Fi right now. It does have bars. It is running my Bluetooth. So it should be a little faster than this, but it is a flip phone as well. So keeping that in mind, it's going to be a little slow regardless, because it's all operating from this small portion. That's it doesn't usually take that long. Maybe it's because I'm going to it from the wheel. Let me try this. It's only on the wheel. Alright, we'll try it again. One more time. Okay, pops right up. I don't know what was causing that little issue there, but it did open. You can do a voice search. You can show the map, show map layers, your location. It's got settings, directions. So you hit map layers, and you can do the satellite version, which shows you kind of the exact same thing I was showing you on the other one. I suggest the satellite version. Okay. I hit select. Now, if I wanted to get directions, I can get directions. And you can type where to. Of course, I got this little keyboard, and I don't really want to do all of this, but let's just say gas. Where from, my location. Google Maps could not determine your precise location. That's all right. I guess I haven't had that turned on. So let's allow it to show. Wow, that was the sound of my washer kicking the bucket. We have this setting up for my exact location, so we're going to let that happen. Okay, we're selecting this area, and then let's just do a voice search. Allow the microphone. Gas station. Gas station. Okay, it's showing me a speedway that's nearby. And click the button. Okay, it shows the details about it. I can hit this button to get directions. Dropped it. Where from, my location, which I've turned on the geolocations. Should be a matter of minutes. It's showing my location to Speedway, and it's asking me if I'm walking, bicycling, or driving. So I select driving. Now it's showing me all the information that I need in order to get to the gas station. It's only blurry because the whole screen is blurry. I apologize. I don't really know how to get rid of the blur. But it's working for me. And I can hit the go. It's got my next got my instructions, and I can hit next and slide through them like old-fashioned MapQuest, or as I get there it'll tell me as well. That's entirely up to me. And of course, closing out closes it out. So you got those two ways to find your way around if everything was to go to crap and cellular networks were to stop running. So the girl was, crying in a drive-through, trying to get help. And I can understand. I can. But those are some extra options that if you are good with technology, you can download your map to your smartphone in advance, just in case something happens. If you have a flip phone, then something comes up and now you need to know where to go. You do know how to operate a flip phone now. And I'm sure people are wondering, why do you have so many phones? Well, I've been through so many phones. This isn't even all of my phones. There's more phones in this house than I care to admit. But the reasoning is, I don't want to throw away a good phone. I don't even like those things where you go to sell a phone, because you can take the phone and use it around the house as wireless cameras, video chat, or security cameras with them. They work really well for that. They also make great secondary screens if you need an external screen for something. There's little cheap programs you can buy or apps that you can purchase or even free to make better use of the phones. But that was the whole purpose of this video, was 100% purely to express that there's a few things you can do outside of begging someone for help. That is a good last resort, and it is effective as long as that someone that you're asking for help, one, knows how to help, two, knows how to give you the directions, and three, isn't a bad person with bad intentions. When you're scared, you're admitting that your phone's not working, and you genuinely don't know what to do. It's very easy for a young girl who's scared, traumatized, and vulnerable with no sense of direction and no working phone to become prey to some guy who wants to lure her to his home and then his basement. So I just figured I'd give these little ideas to help. Because, I mean, it's not that all men are predators or anything like that, but bad people are around, and they will take any chances that they get with a good sounding opportunity. If your phone is not working, and it's not working on such a large scale, just maybe 911 services aren't working. And if 911 services aren't working, how dangerous are things getting? Just how bad is it getting? Well, I don't really have a great list of things you can do about that. This video is about finding your way. I do have a whole horde of nice toys and other reviews, wonderful tool reviews of guns, firearms, weapons, and I have done some experimenting with pepper spray, and it did not work at all like I thought it should. The pepper spray blinded me, so there was no guarantee that it wouldn't just further aid a bad person. I trust firearms, that the wind doesn't change and make those more dangerous to me. That I trust a firearm, and I trust a offline phone with no SIM card in it, and I trust custom Linux based software. I don't trust big corporations. I don't trust sellouts. I don't really even trust electronics. I know electronics, and I think the people who know the most about electronics are the people who don't use them as often. Whereas you see I have 3 different types of computers. I use them for different things. And I do so because each one may be good here or may be good there. Not looking to use one that's insecure for my banking, and not using one that's slow for gaming, or not looking to use one that's difficult to traverse to just Google search something. So there's always a tool that works best in any scenario. And one such tool is Waze, which I believe Waze, you can download the maps as well. But they do require a data connection for the most part, as far as I'm aware. That's why I don't use them. But Waze is really good if you have data. Now, the purpose of this video is with not having service and not having data, your phone not working. So I would highly suggest using an offline downloadable map, or trying to find a location that has paper maps, which is still a thing. If you go to a big name brand store and you say, "Where are your maps?" and they have no clue, look around anyway. My dad was trying to make a point to me that everyone has maps. And at that time, I might have been 17, 18. And I was like, no one uses maps anymore. No one uses those. We all use our phones. And he got really mad, and he took me to the gas station and asked the guy, "Where's his maps?" And he's like, I used my phone. I don't know where the maps are. I don't think I've ever even stocked a map. He was probably right. He probably never had stocked a map. Just people probably don't grab them. But he had an entire stack of maps on a shelf. They had a travel section in the gas station. It was a very tropical themed gas station that was attached to a McDonald's in Kinley, North Carolina. And they did in fact have all of North Carolina maps, and they had United States maps that, because they're so big, they have much less detail. They have like highway information. But the North Carolina maps had streets and byways and highways and country roads and rivers. So you could potentially get in a kayak with it and follow the river on the map. And he was right. I mean, I didn't want him to be right, but he was right. Because he called it, and it was true. They had the maps. So I do highly suggest that. And I promise you, just because they don't know that they have one doesn't mean that they're not there. They may be wrong. So check. I personally try not to get on the internet unless I need to. I don't keep SIM cards in the phones that are not actively being used for communicating. I use third-party encrypted phone texting apps because I don't trust my provider. There's a couple of providers now that are gearing up to start charging you for using things they label hate speech or criminal activity, such as me texting a friend saying, hey, let's go to the gun range. All of a sudden, that's a crime because it says gun. And with the newest thing about certain masses of people can't all go to the gun range and train together, becoming illegal, let's go and gun range could suddenly be criminal activity, which I think it's stupid. People can't have fun together in large quantities. It's everything has been blown out of proportion ever since COVID. So that's why I use things like that. And I have another video coming up literally in a matter of minutes from now. From when y'all are able to see this, there should be another almost equally shitty video in which I show you some web browser and VPNs that I have that are free of use that you can use to help keep your information encrypted, keep your location secret, and other such things. So just keep an eye out on my page to see when that comes out. And I do apologize thoroughly for the crap quality of this thrown together last minute, unplanned, unscripted message. But as people who have been following me for a long time know, I don't do that. I don't make a living from doing these videos. I don't try to make a living doing these videos. I am not going to tell you about any kind of app or game or store. I don't have any merch, and I'm not going to do that crap. You got enough advertisements coming your way because of Google and YouTube and all of them by themselves. You do not need another ad from me, especially if you're trying to watch my video to learn a little something. If you're in line at Harbor Freight looking to buy a wrench and you're looking at my genuine YouTube tool review of that wrench, the last thing you need is for me to stop the whole video and tell you about some company or corporation that's giving me a few dollars per click. And it's not going to happen for me. I don't sell out. I'm not about to. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I'm not about to be. I'm not famous or super cool, and I'm not about to be. And I'm not a massive genius or a marketing tactician or so. There's no need in me pretending that I am. I am just a YouTuber who is a actual mechanic that has a number of skills and experience in things, and I'm trying to share it with those who don't have it. There's probably a number of you who didn't know flip phones can do maps right now. And sure, if you don't have a flip phone, you may think, well, why is that helpful? Well, I mean, it's probably the basis for a movie, but if you were in like some kind of shooting and your phone is broken and you desperately need to flee, and let's say it needs to be to a hospital and you don't know where the local hospital is, you can pull up the local hospital with the old man's phone. So you can get to the hospital, you know, or maybe, just maybe, we lose all service again and you can still get to the hospital using the downloaded maps. And, you know, that's just good advice. There's people that may not know those things. There was somebody who commented on my ice trays video about how retarded or stupid I might have had to have been to make a video like that. And yet at the same time, somebody sent me a private message thanking me, because as a brand new 17-year-old who had moved out on their own through whatever means it was that y'all don't need to know about, they had no clue about real life and had genuinely never used ice trays and could not get them to stack properly, nor get them to crunch appropriately, because they were overfilling them and stacking them all the same way, and so they were just crushing into each other and freezing together, and they had a mess. And they thanked me for my ice tray tutorial video. So hopefully this one will be as helpful as that one was for that one person. If it helps one single person, then it has done its job. If people have any interest in Linux, I'm going to do a video or two in the next upcoming few hours of how to make a Linux bootable thumb drive. That way you can have an optional alternative operating system in your computer as well. The benefits include everything from Windows is going slow, I need something different that's faster, all the way to I think I have a virus on my computer, but I still need to use my computer. Here's a way to use the computer without allowing the virus to do anything. If you are smart enough to have already know how to do this, the same operating system could be used to remove the bug from Windows, from outside of Windows. It's amazing what the software can do for you, but I'm just going to show you how to make a bootable USB stick operating system. And hopefully that will be something some of y'all will be interested in. And I will have some more gun reviews in the next couple of months or so as well. And I do apologize as far as tool reviews go for me having not had many, but there is one coming out it should be tonight. I'm not certain if it's going to be tonight or tomorrow, but there will be another tool review shortly. And on top of that, I do have a few updates for people. And I believe that the first one, I'll just go ahead and throw up on here. I was hit by a car. And if you've been wondering why my face and hand look so messed up, that's what you're going to see on the next couple videos. This was road rash. That was where my safety glasses got bashed into my skull. This is 2 weeks old road rash on my knuckles. I have bruises all over my inner thighs, outer thighs, my knees, road rash. So I want to personally say that, you know, that's what you see if you're wondering, and send one single solitary message to every single person who drives or rides anything that doesn't contain you inside of a cage. And that is that I hope that you are all safe out there. Beware the other reckless automotive drivers. I care. Your families care. We all care. So thank you for following this video. Thank you for allowing me to ramble on your phone, laptop, or PC while you do your many other things that you're interested in doing. I hope that you have a great night. And to that girl who was lost specifically, God forbid she actually sees my videos, I hope that these things become something that you take into your life skills, because I am so heartbroken by seeing you crying like that in need. I I understand where she comes from, but I don't ever want to be in that position myself, and she shouldn't have to be. And there were other options that, had she planned ahead, might have been more effective than begging through a drive-through speaker. So I hope everything ended up all right for her, and hopefully she gets better prepared for the next time, because something tells me this massive phone loss thing will not be the only one, and it won't be this small next time either. I think it'll be much, much bigger the next time. So we'll see. I hope not, but we'll see. I could be wrong, which would be great. But stay safe, take care of yourselves, and have a great day. Bye.